heard you just came from a Women in Games seminar or luncheon.
Yes.
And I was wondering if that was weird.
It wasn't weird. I thought you were, by the way, I always get a little bit nervous about this because the first time this happened to me, these random questions, was in Japan, and there was a whole series of questions about, what's it like to be a developer, what's it like to be a designer, and then suddenly there was this, how did you lose your virginity question.
we don't have those.
Don't worry. I felt absolutely compelled to go into this highly detailed story of a blow-by-blow account of how I lost my virginity. But yes, the Women in Gaming. Well, I truly believe in the diverse skill that women bring. And I'll tell you what's so interesting about it. The Halo franchise at Microsoft, the head of the Halo franchise is someone called Bonnie Ross. She's an incredibly skilled individual. The head of the Fable franchise is someone called Louise. She works with me really closely. She's incredibly skilled. There's someone called Kiki Wilfgill who's heading up a team. All of these people are women, and they're incredibly skilled. And they are tangibly skilled people. And I was in that room, and there were some super talented people there. It was amazing.
Were you the only man there?
No.
Okay. I don't know. It just sounds weird. It's like the name more than the actual thing.
Maybe it is. I mean, in some sense, there was a bond there, there was a sort of bond there which I didn't feel part of.
Yeah, it's like when we go to DICE or something like that. It's like we're not really part of it, but we're happy to be there anyway.
DICE is the same. DICE is worse than that. I kind of walk in, oh my God, there's the creative person. And, the sort of people just part. And there's a lot of these networking things in DICE, and I'm always the person in the corner of the room just sort of standing there looking slightly embarrassed. Yeah. But it wasn't, the Women in Gaming stuff was really, really good. I mean, there was some fantastic people there. There was Jade from Ubisoft and someone called Amy from Naughty Dog, and these are people that have been involved in games, which I think really have moved things forward. Wow, that's so diplomatic and politically correct answer that I've just given.
That's what the head of Microsoft Creative Direction in Europe.
That's right. That's it. I've trained to do those things.
All right, best day you've ever had in your career.
Wow, man, it's been a wonderful ride, man. You can't ask me to pick the best day. I mean, I'm really sincere when I say this, is that I have the most incredible and amazing job. And I get up in the morning and I go to work, and I know that I can have any idea I want, and I can actually play that idea. I mean, that doesn't give you the best day in your career. It gives you the best year or the best decade. And I guess it is, I remember, the first product that Lionhead ever did, which was black and white. And, sometimes you get the best rewards out of proving people wrong. And I remember opening the statement, which showed the number of sales. And everybody thought, it's going to be a disaster, it's going to be a disaster. And I opened it up and saw the number that was sold, and that was fantastic.
And it was still probably like a tenth of what Fable does now.
No, I mean, Black and White did pretty well. I mean,
for the time, though, right?
Well, no, it was like, in the end, it sold about 2.5 million copies. That's, that's respectable by any means.
Quite, yeah. Okay. Craziest person you've ever met in the game industry?
Well, the truth of the matter is that and I'm sure people who work with me would be absolutely agree, I do have this, there's a high correlation of people that work with me going insane. It's incredibly high. I mean, most of the designers I work with are on seriously heavy medication now. And some of them have actually, crossed the boundaries into insanity. So there's quite a few of them there. I mean, there's been some really, truly weird moments where you meet, especially, being a creative person, you meet other creative people. And you're never, when you meet creative people, you're never sure they're ranting away, and I include myself in this, and you're thinking, are they talking about the next big thing, or actually are they crazy? And I remember one instance where I was at a show, and I was on the show floor, and this person came up, and he took me by the side, and he said, I've got to tell you something. He said, follow me. So I followed this guy, and he looked kind of important. I followed him. We ended up in the toilets in the cubicle, and he says, the revolution is coming. They're making a machine that can play all games. It's one console, look out for it. And then there was there's this silence as we stood over this toilet bowl, which I remember there was actually their feces floating in the toilet bowl, and I thought, I have to get out of here, and I have to get out fast.
The one console future. I hear it's coming.
Well, that's what he thought. This was back in 1995, so it's somewhere in the shelf somewhere. It needs to be dusted off.
Excellent. Smartest person you've ever met in the game industry?
Oh wow, man, that's hard. Oh gosh, there's so many. I mean, there's so many incredibly smart people. I mean, of the fellow designers, I think. Yes, an obvious answer. I think Miyamoto is by a hugely impressive individual. I think, some of the designers in Microsoft are incredible. Will Wright, of course, I remember. Sid Meier, I remember as very smart people. And I always feel like the weird kid on the block when I talk to these people because they really know stuff. And so a lot of very smart people.
I remember hearing that in the Perfect Dark remake, your cameo replaces the Miyamoto cameo. Is that right?
Yes, I know they did this, the cheeky blighters, yes, they did. But I realised that actually the Perfect Dark people can't have liked Miyamoto very much because this character gets killed very, very quickly.